This conference will now be recorded.
Right, so we're going to configure the replica set. We need three machines actually today. So I have prepared the notes, guys. To type also will take time. That is the reason I prepared. Why? Because this is little bit lengthy discussion for us today. So I'm going to build a server first. And I'm going to remove everything, anything if a machine have it, I'll do right from the scratch so that you understand well about this. So I have given one machine to you all. So you have to build one on three basically. Two I have given Linux 02, I guess. So what you have to do, if you wanted to build a machine, first you have to shut down. That's mandatory to do it. Let's build a machine and change the host name and IP and then bring it online and connect. Everything we'll see. So the same format you have to follow when you have to do it. So in the background, I guess I kept my Linux machines here, not here. Linux machine maybe here. Okay, I'll just clean up all of this. Okay, I'm going to create Linux 4 again. Okay, so how do I do it if I wanted to do it? So or else I can clean Linux VM03 and then rebuild it from the scratch again. How do I do it if I wanted to do it? Anyway, Linux 4 is also fine. So I have to shut down one server first, then clone it. So any of the machine I'll shut it down, like one or two or three, anything. So let me shut down one and build a clone of it. Power off. First power off. From which machine? You have only one machine, Linux 02. Shut it off. And then go to here. There is an option, snapshot. If you see, manage. You see the clone. There is a clone is given. Power of the machine, Linux 02. What I have given. And just go to the manage clone. You're given an option called clone. Click on the clone. Hit next. Use the current virtual machine state, keep it as the first option, and create a full clone. Keep the second option. Hit next. And here I wanted to name it as a Linux 04. Okay, Linux 04. And where I wanted to place this, you have to browse. Okay, you have to create the folder before you do it. So in D, data, Linux machines VMs, this is where I wanted to place in the Linux 04. Finish. So it does everything for you. You don't need to worry about it all. It will prepare the whole entire machine quickly. It does not take too long. So I clean up everything from the Linux 04. See, it is building all the files back again. It's cloning anyway. This should be highlighted. Why it is grayed out. If this is the thing, I have to restart the machine sometimes. Come on. Let this finish. How to do clone if we have a different machine, different any machine, you clone the same way. Just shut it off, just clone it. Right, it is finished. See, if it is finished, now it is highlighted. This is not highlighted. Anyway, let's give a try. So I'll take it off this thing, uh, remove it. Okay, so don't switch on the VM0 Linux 01 right now. Why? Because Linux 04, Linux 01 both are same. Network card wise and name wise, everything is same. First change that to something else and bring the Linux 01 online. If you try to bring this online, that won't come online because both are having the same IP conflict will happen. That will just hang forever. That won't load. So don't start this one for now. You whatever the clone you created, start that first. So let's go to the here open, and I'll go to the Linux 04. Come on, it's not showing this as anyway, let's try to load it. Is it going to load? Maybe if it is hangs out, then I have to reboot. It's a big problem with this. Come on. Seems it is okay, it is loading. Alright, see guys, we created a clone, just you have seen. And I'm starting the Linux 04 before I am starting the Linux 01 because we need to certain configurations. We need to change. If not, the Linux 01 will not start. The change, what I am going to change, I have recorded that also so that you have a full information on this one. Right. So now you cannot connect from this mobile Linux 04 yet. You can do within this. So root, the password is same for all the machines. Ravi at the rate 1234. Right. If you see if config, the IP is this IP is given to Linux 01 actually. This IP. And the host name also, the if you see the machine name Linux 04, but host name if you see Linux 01, it is showing. So I wanted to change the host name first. Okay. So there is a small command for doing that. This is where your host name ctl set host name new host name. So it is Linux 04, but I wanted to change it. Sorry, where I went to this VM. So host name ctl and set host name. Okay, what is the new name for this VM? Linux 04. See, we created Linux 04. We are matching the name. Just simple command. It does the job. It did. Next is we had to change the Ethernet IP. This Ethernet IP 50.11 is hard coded. Where it is hard coded? So go to VI. I'm changing it. I'm opening it. That thing etc. Okay. etc network scripts. I guess. Just a minute. There is a the file you need to change. This is the one. VI etc sysconfig network scripts. Okay, come on, not here. I'll share that as well. No need to worry. Sysconfig network scripts. Right. Then ENS. What was the Ethernet? 33, right? Not this one. Right. ENS. Okay. If config. If CFG ENS 33. Okay. I'll explain. Right. This is where the IP got hard coded. What it is saying? Right. So go to the insert mode, change the IP to something different. So 11, 12, 13 is claimed. I'm going to give a 14. Okay. Then save it. So two things we have done, guys. What I have done, I shut down the Linux 01. I cloned it. Then I did not bring this online. Before that, I brought this one is online. Then I changed the host name first, right? Then change the IP of the Ethernet card. Two things I have done using these commands. What are the commands? You just run this command. Set here hostname ctl set hostname the Linux mesh name and go to with the root itself vi etc sysconfig network scripts, and here this will come out. Here I made it 14 instead of 11, 14. That's it. So then I saved it. I came out of the shell. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to restart this machine now. Restart the guest. Power off, restart the guest. So now it will come with all the new details. If it coming new with the new details, then I can start this one comfortably. No conflict. This is how you prepare a new machine basically. And after this, you have to do two more things actually. You have to make the entry in etc host. That's how it will communicate. I'll show you, no need to worry. So I'll form the replication between 1, 2, 4. Leave the 3 behind because 3 servers are enough for us. So if you see machine name is changed to Linux 04, right? And what I'll verify now is IP quickly. If it is not reflecting the new IP, what you have to do, I'll tell that also. I picked up time, see? 50.14, it was 11 before, now 50.14, absolutely good. Then Linux 02 also, 1 also will come online now. Because this machine IP, this machine is IP is different. So as long as the IPs are different, they can load, absolutely. There is no conflict. You guys with me? Say something.
Yes.
It is so simple. We just cloned it and changed the Ethernet IP, changed the host name, rebooted. That's it. That's what we did. This is how you prepare multiple machines for this replica set configuration. You do twice this one, what I'm doing. Why? Because you have only one machine. You need at least two more machines. In my case, I'm building only one machine. Right. So if I wanted to connect to, see, let's skip the VM03. I don't want this intentionally because you need to know how I'm using Linux 04 into the configuration. So if I wanted to talk to these two seamlessly, there is something you have to do. Something you have to do. So let me do it within the VM first. Root. Let me log into all. It's so simple. This is also I mentioned in the. You have to click once inside, then only cursor will go inside the VM. It's not MOBA extra. Control C, come out of it. Come out. And then here, okay, it is already we are in, right? So there is something called cat etc host. There is something called etc host file. What it is? etc host only, right? etc host actually. Okay, fine. You have to make the entry of that machine actually. It's a manual, you have to do it. Okay. So cat etc what we have right now. I'll show you. They are connecting internally because I made the entries here. See 192.168.50.11 Linux 01, 192.168.50.12.13. In every machine, these entries are there. So now I'll go to VI, etc. New host entry, you have to do it again. Host. This is open. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter this new host details. Okay. So what is the new host? 192.168.50.14. You have to do this. Space Linux 04. That's it. So you have to make this entry everywhere in all the three machines. This is done. Now I'll do in this one. vi etc host. So insert mode, enter here. At the end of it, just hit enter. 192.168.50.14 again. And what is the machine name? Linux 04. You have to mention every machine, right? Next here also, you have to keep self machine name as well. So etc host, right? Insert mode. So then last one more thing you have to do is 192.168.50.14. In your case, 12 you will have it, 11 and 13 you have to do it. Linux 01, Linux 03, right? Whatever you claim, just you have to mention there. That's it. I claim 14. Instead of 14, I would have claimed 20 IP, 50, up to 254. 50 dot up to 254. I can take any IP. So whatever the IP you have given to the machine, that is what you have to claim. So now, can I connect to Linux 04 from here? No, you cannot connect from here. If I'm connecting to Linux 04, I cannot connect. Still, you have to do something. So what is that? At OS level, oh, it is connected. This is something good, huh? Let's see what is IP it is listening on. Maybe the IP I got added. I guess I would have added the IP. That is the reason it is connecting. If config 14, okay. So what was happened in the background if it is connecting? So open the notepad, run as administrator. At the end, if you wanted to connect from the mobile extreme, you had to open the notepad with the run as administrator. Sorry. Right click, run as administrator, open the etc host file that I worked with everyone on this one. Go to file, go to open, okay, and then see Windows system 32, then drivers, right? Here we have a etc. Under etc, we change it to all files and host file. This is what you have to open. Open. We don't have 4 still connected. Good enough. It is trusting that network, which means that we kept that network local. So if I go inside the command prompt, my machine ipconfig, okay, it is sitting in the same LAN. That is the reason it is connected. 50 dot, where is the 50.1? See, 50.1 IPv4 address. It is sitting in the same LAN 192.168.50.14. This network and that network directly trusting it basically. So that is the reason I actually connected, but you have to make the entry here to make a seamless connection. 192. It is, though it is connecting, sometimes it may not connect. So keep an entry here so that it will not reject your connection from the OS point of view. This is like a domain server in the OS level. So we are saving this. The process cannot access the file because it's being well. What the heck? Why? What is other process? Save like a host only, right? Yeah. So now it got saved, which is fine. Uh, so we are okay with it. It is, though it is connected, we have the entry in the host file. This is how you build a machine. Quickly, once again, I'm going to pick up this discussion. I'll finish it. See guys. First, shut it off from which machine you wanted to create. Clone it. Once the clone built completely, first start the clone, then change the host name using this command, change the ethernet IP using this command, okay, then restart. Once it is restarted and loaded fine, then you have to go to the source machine and start the source machine as well. Both will come online. Like that, you have to do twice. Then once everything is on, then you have to make the entries here. Look, etc host file I have added. If you look at this, see each machine entry, every machine make Linux 0, 1, 2, 3, all the IPs mention it in the etc host file in each machine. Then you will not see any communication issues. You must make this entry. Then in the Windows level also, we have seen, right, etc system32 drivers etc, make the entries of each VM there also, like what you have done here exactly. Then make the connection for mobile extra. It will not show you any issues anymore. Is it clear? This is all you have to do to build the machine first. Any questions? Say something. We are done with the VM preparation. Now I'm going to the replica set configuration. So first what I'll do, I'll clean up everything what we have, and then let's see what we have here. Cat etc MongoDB. This is what we have here. I did not authenticate it in time. Let's go with the 1, 2, 3, 4. What machine you, what combination you wanted? All are working now. So which machine I wanted to use? Let me know. Do you have any choice? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Any choice. You can tell me. I'll use those machines and start doing it. You want me do what I wanted to do, or tell me something, guys? Which combination I want? 3 machines we wanted, not 4 anyway. You guys there, right?
Yeah, let's go with 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Fine. So right, I'm going to log in to the each machine, okay, and then build things from scratch so that you understand nothing goes above your head. Why it is not 3 is not loading? There's something wrong with 3 then. Oh, 3 is not started. Right, that is a problem. Okay. Preparing the primary replica is important first. Secondaries are simple anyway. It is loaded. Now it will connect. Right. So whatever I had, I'll just wipe it off. Absolutely, I'm wiping it off. Okay. So where I'm cd var MongoDB. So what we have here, these are all. These are all we have. rm-rf asterisk. Just pick up, delete everything I'm saying it. Let it do. And then this is a bit lengthy configuration, guys. So now it is gone. Okay. Now etc the file also I'm going to delete. This is also everything. I'm deleting everything. Nothing I'm keeping behind, so that you understand what I'm doing. It is not resolving. Right, it is gone. Okay, so here it is owned by MongoDB. If you look at let's see, cd var, what was the username we have used? lsfnl. MongoDB is owned by Mongo user. Here also Mongo. So everywhere I have to create the Mongo user and do it, or else uh, I can create a new user and take the ownership and everything. I can do it from scratch. So here also, let's see what we have in var. What we have here. MongoDB directory we don't have. We have it, right? It is owned by MongoDB user. So I'll use MongoDB, or else Mongo data also we have. So I'm going to delete all of that. I'm going to delete the Mongo data directory itself. This is something we are just not using anything what we had before, building everything as new. So then, so this is also gone. Let's wipe out from here as well. We have MongoDB file directory. I'm keeping that MongoDB file. cd tc mongo. The directory is same everywhere. I wanted to keep everywhere same. That's how you work on the replica sets. Right, so we wiped out everything, guys. So now I'll create a new user in each machine, okay, and give the ownership to that user. Create a new user, cd home. What are the users we have? Let's create a new user instead of Mongo user, Mongo service, Ravinder, MongoDB. These are all we have, right? Mongo, what do we use? Mongo Replica. I'm trying to create a new user, okay? Sudo user add. These are all preparation, guys. This is all preparation. The preparation I'm not adding into this thing, like user details and all. User details, we discussed a lot. So user add Mongo R. I'll keep it Mongo R username. Okay. And the group, what is a group I wanted to add for this user? Let's keep a group also for this. -G. What are the groups? SQLDB. Let's keep SQLDB. We have SQLDB, it seems already. So Mongo R belong to SQLDB group when it is created. It is created. Now what I have to do? I have to add the password. Sudo psswd Mongo R. Okay. So I'm going to set the password. Else I'll keep the what? That is created. So I'll keep this step also if you really want. Creating service account. It will come to the beginning discussion, guys. Not required. We discussed creating service account, taking the ownership. That will go to the beginning discussion again. Okay. We don't have we have to I mean this bit lengthy configuration. I have to show everything in a single class, especially I cannot leave in between. So here we created good enough one user. The same user I'll try to create here also. Cd home Mongo R. So we don't have a SQLDB group here. So sudo group add. We discussed all of this already. So SQLDB it is created. Now I'm going to use this one. Sudo user add Mongo R is created. Next sudo psswd giving the Mongo R, right? And the password to it. Give the password everywhere same. We are going to keep the same service account. That's how replica set works. Now cd home, right? We don't have Mongo SQLDB group also it seems. So sudo group add SQLDB, right? Then do this Mongo R. Sudo pawd Mongo R. So we created the service account now successfully. Now we need to own the directories next. So let's just make this as a primary copy. Primary copy is work is more, secondaries are simple anyway. So now we have where I wanted to do this. Okay, and in the where I wanted to use Mongo under this MongoDB. Okay, under this MongoDB I wanted to place it. Do we have anything under MongoDB? Let's see, we cleaned up anyway. Right, we don't have. So now I want to take the ownership on this MongoDB directory. So sudo chown, right? Sudo chown and mongo r service account. Mongo r group SQLDBA and MongoDB. That's it. You know this command we discussed in the beginning itself. Mongo are owning this MongoDB and SQLDB. So you want me to delete these two? Like I can delete if you are confusing it maybe. Sudo hyphen rm. Rm means remove. Hyphen rf means force remove. Let me remove these two. Right. If you see only one MongoDB right now, right within it, I took the ownership here. I'll take the ownership in everywhere. The same thing you do on every machine, and also cd etc. You have the MongoDB directory here. That also you need to take the ownership in every machine, not only here. MongoDB, we know that MongoDB is there, of course. We entered into the Mongo there, that is there itself. See, it is owned by Mongo user. Now I'll run this command. Sudo Mongo or ch1 for sudo ch1. Follow closely. It is simple. These are all discussed things. SQLDBA, MongoDB. Right, it is done. Ownership, you have to create it good enough, but you have to take the ownership in every server. MongoDB is owned by this guy, so sudo. Anyway, I'll type it. ch1 and Mongo R. Okay, SQLDBA and MongoDB. Done. You see that it is done. Mongo R. At the same time, cd etc. Just I'll enter it and then I'll do the same thing because it's the same file. The same file, right? ch1 mongo r mysqldb mongodb directory, which is fine. Done. Next here cd where what is the directory we have? MongoDB owned by this guy. So I'll use the same thing. It is done. It is owned by Mongo R. cd etc. Again, I'll execute the same command. And this is also ownership is done. On 3 servers, ownership is done. Next, what next? I have to log in with the Mongo R. I don't need this admin account anymore. So I'll log in with the duplicate. Okay, in all servers. These are main topic for us now. Mongo R. Yes. Here, Mongo R. Yes, remember the password. Yes, means Mongo R. So simple, guys. Nothing is tough if you follow the previous classes. Now, I'll enter into the where MongoDB. What I can do only within that directory, I can do anything. So now you don't have anything right now here. So what and all we need basically, this is where the document will start. We prepared service account. We took the ownership on the directories on all the servers. The service account is same across the machines. That is how you have to keep it. All the machines service account is same and the folders are same and permissions are same. You took the complete ownership. Then let's start the actual discussion. So you need a data directory, you need log file directory, You need the config file directory. You need the setup directory where the binaries are going to run from. And there is something called key file. Key file is something new for you, all of you. Why? Because let me explain. Key file is mandatory if you enable the security. If you don't enable it, not required. So I'm going to use authentication, a proper discussion, so that it is exactly live. This is how we do replica set in the production also, exactly the same steps. So now, if MongoDB is running here, here also running, and everywhere authentication is enabled. So how this is going to exchange the data with this one? Okay, how it is going to exchange the data with this one? It has to push the data internally. Whatever I'm doing it is updating the data here and here internally, Mongo to Mongo. How it is doing? It has to talk. One service should talk to with other service. So it need a username password, but service cannot give a username password when it is running. When you are interacting, you can give the username password, but service cannot give the password. That is the reason we will add the extra thing in the config file, saying that one key file. The key file, same key file we will keep here in the config. Here also we'll keep the same key file in the config file. It will go with the key based authentication. It will verify that do you have the same key, do you have the same key, then come in and then talk. So for internal Mongo communication, you need to create your own key file and upload that file everywhere. Use the exact key. The key will let the Mongo to authenticate using the key, not username password. Because service cannot submit the username password in the background. Service will go with the key only. The key what it is generated, you upload it here. It is using that key. It is verifying the key is same. Here also your key anywhere it is going. If this becomes primary, the same key is there here and here, so it can talk seamlessly. So key based authentication will go through in the background. Why? Because service cannot give a username password, it just verifies the key. That is the reason we need a key file, encrypted key file. This thing, how do we prepare the encrypted key file? I'm going to show, no need to worry. Okay, did you guys understood this one? Say something.
Yes.
Right. Now I'm going to prepare data directory, log directory, key file, and setup in a data. Config file is separate. etc. It will go to etc. Four directories we wanted here. Here we wanted four directories. mkdir, okay, data, log, okay, key file, and setup. These are the four directories we wanted. So I'll execute the same command in all the servers. Okay, so that right, it should be identical. Right. If you see, directories are built out everywhere. See, LSF and L. See, all the four directories exist in each machine. Right? Good enough. Okay, there are setups already in place here, so I'll remove them. Oh, why the heck? Okay, these are owned by root, it seems, internally.
Ravinder.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Tell me, Brent.
It's been owned by Ravinder, that's what I'm saying.
Right, right. That's correct. What you said is correct. So I need to go inside the directory, use admin account. So this is owned by different user. That is why I'm not able to tell it. So okay, inside the directory, the binaries are owned by something else, it seems. Anyway, it is gone. RM, it's just a file, so I can directly remove it. So now we have only these directories. So now come back to this. I'm keeping this admin session just because of that only. Like if anything, actually I have to delete, clean up, then I can use it kind of. So now Here you have only 4 directories which are owned by Mongo R. Here also you have 4 directories owned by Mongo R. Here also 4 directories owned by Mongo R. So now I need the setup. I need the setup. See, get into the setup directory. See guys, one thing. Prepare the directories on each machine and keep the identical location for better troubleshooting. We created all 4 directories right now, except this. This I'll talk about. Okay. Then take the ownership. We took the ownership already, right? We took the ownership that we discussed. Generate the encrypted file. So open the SSL. This is something is going to generate a file. This file must exist in all the server. So I'm going to generate this in the Linux 01. Setup anyway. Talking third step, preparing the setups. So let's go with the document. I'm going to run on the primary. So I'll run the key file under key file directory only. So enter into key file. If you see, uh, there is nothing in this. If I see where I am, where MongoDB key file, I'm running this command. See, open SSL random base 64-bit algorithm, use the base 64 algorithm, create the 745-bit encrypted key. This number you can give anything, doesn't matter. Just mention a random number. Instead of 745, you wanted to give 760. It works. 760 bits it will generate. If you give 1000 bits it will generate. You're asking the command. It's a command. OpenSSL random base 64-bit algorithm to generate a random text as a certificate for us here. If I run this, if I go inside, if I do lsf and l, it is created a file. If I cat, this is what it is generated. You don't run this command in every machine. Why? Because it will generate the random key in every machine. That is not the case. You have to transfer this file to all other machines. Why? Because the key must be unique in all the machines. Key must be same on all the machines. Then only it can exchange the key and then talk. We don't execute this command in each machine, only one machine. And from that machine, transfer the key to other machines. That way it is. So now the key got generated, right? This key got generated. I want you to transfer this key to the Linux 02, Linux 03. So if you enter into key file, you don't have anything in this too. And here also, if you enter into key file, you don't have anything in it. So how do you transfer? So I mentioned that also, I feel SCPC, you have to send it to the target. So SCP, secure copy program. We are in the same directory where the key file. If not, you have to mention everything. Where MongoDB key file, right? And then Mongo key. And then who can talk to target? Mongo R itself. Mongo R can talk at the rate Linux 02 colon here, and the target also where it has to go, where MongoDB and key file. Okay, this is, we are transferring Linux 01 to Linux 02. I'm asking the command go inside the where directory. I no need to go. I'm in the same directory where file is. If you are confusing, I'm giving the complete path. It will go inside this directory and pick up this file, go into the target server and load into this file, this directory. So here Linux 02, we are entering into Linux 02 using Mongo R. So it will talk because the user exists. Yes, you wanted to connect. Yes, I wanted to connect. Give the password of that Mongo R. It is same. It will transfer the file. You go and see, previously file was not there. File is transferred now. See, it is transferred. The same command, I'll just change Linux 03. And before we do it, lsfnl where I am right now, pwd key file, and the file is not there. I'm going to transfer this. Yes, I wanted to connect and give the password. So the file got transferred. See, now you finish the second step also. Second step also. In our case, what we have done, I'll mention twice here if you want to. Twice we did it on 2 machines. Here 1, 2 and 3. This is how we transferred. Right. Second step is also finished. 2 steps are finished. We are on the 3rd step. Prepare the binary for the configuration, right? This is important. So I'll download the setup here on the first one machine. cd dot dot where I am right now, okay, under the key file. Let me clear the screen, guys. Cd dot dot. So I'll enter into setup, cd setup. I'm going with the 4.0 configuration or 3.6. We have to do the upgrade also with the replica set. That also we have a topic. Right now we don't have anything. So what we have to download? 4.0 or 3.6? See, 3.6 to 4.0 how to upgrade. We'll talk about that. Or else if I go with that 4.0 or 4.2, 4.0 to 4.2, how do we upgrade? Anything is fine. So which one will go to? 3.6 MongoDB 4.0. Let's go with it. Not an issue. We'll upgrade to 4.2. Replica set from 4.0 to 4.2. Testing must be done. That's something I'm not going to cover. We covered already. I mean, you have to migrate before you do it. Live migration. So I'll go with the 4.0. 3.6 means, see, if I use a replica set 3.6, I talk about how do you migrate to 4.0. If I use a 4.0, then I'll talk about 4.2. One version ahead with the replica set. So now 4.0, anything is fine. I'm okay. Steps are same. There is no difference. Copy the content. So now I'm going to duplicate. First, let's ping. Google is working or not. Come on, it's not working. So service. I need to use the sudo for restarting the Ethernet. Sudo service network restart. Right. So I'll download in one machine, push it to all the servers. I can do that. So ping should work now. Right, it is working. Clear. So PWD setup, LSFNL, there is nothing. I'm doing the duplicate and the directory. That's it. I can download in each machine, but I'll show how do we transfer. I don't need to download. One machine is enough. Right. So first transfer the zip file itself. It is easy to transfer. Unzip it, you have to use the, like recursive copy, all that, right? So I'm going to send this file to that server, scp mongo, okay, and mongo r at the rate linux02. The same thing, how we transfer that file, where MongoDB setup. That's it. It will transfer the file. See? Following, right? Everyone? Say something. I'm just doing every single step. Every single step we are doing it. So now setup is available in every machine. So then extract it. So let me clear now. tar -xvf. These are all first discussed topics. So right, everywhere I'll run now. cd setup, where I am right now. cd dot dot, go inside cd setup. You'll find this file tar xvf. And here also I'll run the same thing. cd dot dot cd what it is, setups, right? tar xvf. Right. Now binaries are ready. What I have to do now, basically, I have to use this in the profile D. So in everywhere it should be same. So less fn. You have to go with the bin. This is where we have the binary location. Everywhere it is same. This is directory, right? So preparing the binaries. Now come to here. Where? Here. So binary path is this, right? So this path in each machine I'll upload directly because the directory is same. Everything is same, so I don't need to go and do it in every machine, right? So in this machine, the binary you cannot do with the service account, only admin account. So cd etc profile d ls-l mongo.sh. We have one file already, which is executable. That is enough. Sudo vi mongodb.sh. I'll just replace. Insert. Did I copy everything? If not, let's see. Right, I copied everything. So that's it. It is done on the first machine. On the second machine, cd etc mongo. Whatever is the file is given. File can be anything. Doesn't matter. Sorry, what I'm doing. cd etc profile d. Whatever the file is here, class as such, anything is fine. Just it need to have that file entry. So sudo vi class, right? Insert mode. Follow carefully. This is a new directory what we have. Then third, cd etc profile d less fnl. Here mongo sh sudo vi mongo sh. Insert mode. Right, now binary preparation is finished. Okay, we prepared the directories, we prepared the encryption file and loaded into targets, and we downloaded setup and loaded into target, and then loaded the binary executables and everything. Now primary preparation. Now I had to log off all these sessions and log in again. Why? Because the new directory will not take it to effect. You have to log off and log in. It's mandatory. So one by one again I'll connect. Duplicate on this duplicate tab, on this I'll go with the duplicate tab. That's it. So now I'll use Mongo R. It will connect directly because I connected once already. I said keep the session details. So now what we need to prepare the replica set. First, I need to talk about the process. First, what I have to do. See guys, first I will start the Mongo without the security. It's mandatory. First I have to create one user. That user must exist. So I'm going to prepare the Mongo with the what is the directories we have used. Where Mongo data. See, you have to config file should be matched with these directories. This is a data directory. What we have defined where MongoDB data, right? It must be matched. Data is here. This is what it is. And a log, what is the log we created? This is a log. We are matching guys what we have done. So this is fine. What next? Port number, I'll keep it default, which is fine. And that's it. So I'll pick up this. And the first replica we have to configure. To prepare the primary replica, secondary we will see. Okay. Primary replica server. So on the primary, cd etc, come on, Mongo. I'm going with the service account. ls-l, we don't have anything at all, right? vi mongodb.conf. I'm just keeping it. Then insert mode and insert this config. We know this. We know this absolutely. We discussed this all a lot on this and all of this. So now I'm saving it. Okay. Now I'll start the Mongo. Mongo d-f etc MongoD Mongo config. It started. Now I'll connect to Mongo directly. There is no security. Now I'll use admin. Okay, db.create user. First you have to create user. So I have mentioned the steps here. See, first we need to start the MongoDB without security. Start the MongoDB and connect to Mongo. Create the root user in admin database. Then shut down. Enable the security. That we have seen in the security already. The same topic again. Same thing I'm doing. Don't confuse here. Create user. Example, I'm creating the user. Okay. Assume a case like Anita. Okay. And password pwd Ravi @1234. Roles. Role is root. Okay. Database DB is admin. We talked about all of this again, right? Anita got created with admin rights. This is enough for me. db.shutdown server, right? Now I'll go etc Mongo. I'll enable the security now. vi. Okay. So now I'll take the entire this thing like security, replication, everything. I'll take it now. These extra things. First enable it, shut down, and add it and start. That is a process. You guys following? Say something. Now we are enabling the security. Now
Yes.
save this option. Right? Now I'll start the Mongo. This is how things goes, guys. If you follow this step, you never run into issues. Okay, what it is saying, let's see it. MongoD ifnf. Okay, let's read the log. What the problem it is. Where? It is a problem it is saying automatically disabling the TLS forceability. Permissions on the key file. What the heck? Huh? Where MongoDB key file are now to open, right? This is excellent. This is very important point again. This is very important. Key file should be owned by only Mongo admin only. Mongo admin, Mongo service account only. This is something I forgot to discuss. Good enough. It is actually warned. See, it is saying that the key file, the permissions on the key file is to open. Don't open the permissions. So how it is open? Let's see. The error log is very important for us. cd var mongo key file. If you see key file, what are the permissions it is giving? Read permission to others. Others can read the key. They should not read the key. They can copy paste and then they can misuse the key. If they are misusing, they can talk to Mongo. They can hack the Mongo easily without username password with the help of the key. It is possible. So you have to use you have to change the permissions. chmod. So I'll give only 600. Only owner should have the permission. So now if you see, owner has the read write. Read write owner have. Others don't have. Anyone don't have any permission. This is a minimum thing you need to configure. And the key file. Key file should not be read or executed by or modification should not be done by anyone except the service account. Service account only should own this key, and you only can change anything if you want it in the key, because key is very important. It is key is using for authentication. Even you enable the security, using the key file you can hack it, because Mongo is using this key. Someone can talk to Mongo remotely and then do the data. They can take the data out of the Mongo. It is possible. That is the reason that Mongo is enforcing to keep the permission not to open. It should be only owned by the owner of the file, owner of the service account of the Mongo. Now, if I start Mongo, it will start. Good point. Is it clear what I was saying? Now it will start. Mongo is started. So if I go with the Mongo, okay, I have to use the username. Okay, Mongo username is Anita, right? And the password is Ravi at the rate. I'm giving the password here itself. Authentication database. Admin. If I do it, she can do anything. But here you enabled replication, but not master, not slave. You cannot do anything. See, in the config we added this thing, replica role, replication equal to replica cars kind of. When you add this one, you must initialize the replication, then only you can read it. So this step is over, guys. Preparing the primary is over. Right now we are initiating the enable the replication on the node which we are going to make a primary. So there is small command to enable the replication. On this one, rs.initiate, you have to run this command. Run this command, it will initiate the replication on this node. See, other, secondary, primary. There are three roles. Now you see this is a primary server. Now if I'm trying to do show DBs, it is going to show this one. Intentionally, I wanted to create some databases, SQL DBA and db.lab.insert. I wanted to create some databases so that you understand well. Right? You see the show DBs, you will see the database name SQLDB. Use lab db.test.insert. Just one record so that I can see the databases. Lab SQLDB and what do we keep? Use cloud. I wanted to create some databases. db.class.insert. Come on, db cloud db.class.insert. What do you say? Right. So we have 3 user databases and 3 system databases, and this is a primary replica. And if I go rs.conf, there is a command to check what are the members are there. Only one member. Member is only one member right now. One member replica set. It is a first member. That is why it is a primary replica. Okay. This replication is server level or deep level. Absolutely server level. There is nothing you can do database level. That is what I said in the beginning. You have 10 databases, 10 databases reflect. There is nothing you can filter. I want a replication of one database. No, it is absolutely server level. It is a byte to byte. There is no gap at all. It will pick up everything what you do on the primary and the secondaries. It is not DB level. It is not object level like collection level. It is a server level. In Mongo, you don't have a replication at object level. There is no such thing. It is a server to server. Absolutely. Okay. So now let's prepare the secondaries. Primary is up and running, everything. Secondaries, you no need to enable the security and all. It will reflect everything. Whatever you have in the primary. Let me go to the primary. See where Mongo. Okay, data. So if you see, these many files are there. LSF and L. This you have to keep in mind. Total 43 files are there in the data. If I go to the secondary, okay, I'll configure the config here. etc cd etc mongo. We did not configure it. Now secondary, prepare the secondary. So preparing secondary nodes. Directly we enable the security and replication in MFL and start the MongoDB secondaries. Once these started, try to connect and check the connectivity. You can authenticate a root. See, uh, let me explain this. See, this is secondary MongoDB instance uh, config file. This we know. These are all we know. I'm adding security enabled and the key file. Key file is absolutely which came from the primary. We created the key file. We transferred to secondary Linux 02, Linux 03. The same key we are calling again. Where MongoDB key file, the same thing. Replication cars only. It should be same. If you give it something, it will not join to the existing replication. Whatever you have used in the primary, the replication name, secondary also you have to use the same thing. You should not change it. So now I'm picking up this one. In the secondaries, I'll load it. So
Ravi
where
here.
yeah.
Don't we need to change the permission for key file on the secondary?
You have to change. That's correct. That's correct. Very good point. Huh? Very good, Biren, actually. That's a very good point you brought up. You definitely have to change that. Else it will throw the same error. Where I am. Excellent point you brought up. Good observation, good follow-up. So CD key file. Key file must be owned by service account only. No one should own it. So the permissions are again to open. So chmod 600. 6 means read write. 00 means no permission to group and others. That's it. Very good point. And this one also have to do. Good follow, Biren. You're very closely following then. So now I'll enter into CDC etc and MongoDB. So this is where we are going to prepare the Mongo config file. So vi mongo.conf, okay, mongodb.conf, right? So what I'm going to load into this I kept every single step what I'm going. So you have to follow this document. It will enough. Video on this document absolutely enough. Nothing I'm typing it and doing. So preparing secondary, directly we enable the security. No need to worry because everything will reflect from the primary to secondary, even users, permissions, everything. So we no need to enable and do it kind of. It will come from the primary. So I'm taking this and directly loading it. You need to make sure that the data, where MongoDB log, where MongoDB data, where MongoDB, these directories are correct. If not, it will not start. It looks good. So vi, I'll load this config file there. So process looks good. Oh, this is why it is 30. I just wanted to keep it to 17 itself. Okay, authorization enabled. All right, looks good. Let me change that also here. You can give any port, but I'm just going the default. Okay. Now I'll start the Mongo here on the secondary. MongoD -f etc Mongo. It started. Let's do on the same this thing also. Okay, -f this has been changed, right? cd etc Mongo +f there's nothing. vi mongodb.conf. What Guru, you have a question? This can we are what Guru, do you have a question? Okay, so now I'm just opening this config. I'm going to load this insert mode and shift insert. It will copy that. Now save this. Start the Mongo.
Need to change the port.
Uh-huh.
Needed to change the port to default from 30.
Oh, again, good point. Huh? Thanks, Biren. You're helping me today. Yes, insert. Yeah, good observation. You can run 3.0 also, but you have to mention the port whenever it is connecting, which is fine. So now clear this MongoD fnf etc Mongo. Right, started. Good enough. Can we transfer the config file from primary to secondary? Yes, we can. We can. We can transfer. That is possible. Absolutely. What you have in the primary, just transfer it and start. Absolutely, we can do it. How do you transfer if you want to? Let me do it. Shut down and do it. So what he said is, I'll connect to Mongo. Okay. I need the authentication because security authentication is enabled already. I cannot connect to this as long as I join into the replica set. That I cannot do it, but anyway, I'll transfer it. So how do I transfer? I'm quitting the session, CD. We can do that. Anything we can transfer and then use it. The config file is same. If you see primary to secondary, what is different? There is nothing different. There is no difference. If you see primary to secondary, the same thing what you have in the secondary also, there should not be difference, except we are not enabling the security. I can transfer and use it. What he's saying is, why can't we just transfer and do it kind of? Yes, you can do it. Just copy paste it, or else you do the transfer also, it will work. So you are this directory, scp, okay, mongo.conf, mongo r @linux02, okay. I'll transfer it as a different name. Where, so not where, etc MongoDB mongo1.conf something. I am giving a different name to not to override the existing one. Just to show this to as you asked, that is the reason it is transferred. So I go and check where I am right now. Right, see, this got transferred. And instead of this, I can use this also. There is no difference. If you see compare, if you read mongo1.conf, what it is, mong 1. Okay. Here you have the same thing. Cat. There is no difference between these. Either of the things you can use it. There is no. If you read this output, where till what point it is given here, or else this output, both are same. There is no difference. What you said is correct. You can transfer and use that when you are starting. Absolutely, it works. Good enough. Anyway, that is also a valid point you said. Now, Mongos are started. Before they started, I wanted to show something which is very, very important to understand again. So, CD data. So, it will sync everything. You just start to Mongo. Now, how many files we have here? Total 22. Here also, how many files we have in this one? Else we can verify from here as well. CD var mongo data. So it will be 22 files only. That is a default file structure. So ls-l pipe wc -l. So total 22 files. As soon as I add the secondary into like a primary this thing, first I need to talk to this one where I used already this authentication, right? Now Anita authenticated it. Okay, she's authorized. She has the root permissions. Show DBs. She can sheet. So now I'm going to add rs.add. So thing is, see guys, prepare secondaries are over. Prepare directly enable the security and replication YAML file and start the MongoD. We started. Once started, try to check and try to connect and check the connectivity. You cannot connect to the Mongo. So okay, good enough. So here I'm trying to talk to Mongo using the Anita here on the secondary. Is it possible? No, because we did not join the servers yet into the replication. it will throw the error. The same thing, as soon as I add into replica set rs.add, this simple command rs.add linux 02 and port number 27017. You don't need to mention, but let's mention 27017. rs.add to linux 02. I'm adding that node once. If you connecting to Mongo also, it will connect to the test database by default. Okay, it is not showing any role at the moment. As soon as I hit this, it is okay means successful. If you come and hit here, it will become secondary. See, it is joined. Once it is joined, if you go and see the file count, it will become whatever the file on there on the primary. File count will increase automatically because it will sync everything. See, 43 files. Because on the primary 43 files are there, on the secondary also 43 files. It synced automatically all the files on the secondary. So now Anita was failing before, now she won't fail. I'll come out. Okay, now Anita can connect. Why? How she can connect? Because it transferred the even everything Mongo, like in and out it will transfer. Whatever is available in the primary, it will also available in the secondary also. As simple as it is. So now this one also, if this one is also not in the Mongo right now, it is started, but here there is no role for it. There is no role, and you will be loaded into test database by default. Okay, you cannot do anything against test anyway. Now I'm going to add that server also. If I come to this one, we prepare secondaries. I'm adding here Linux 02 added this one. I'm adding the next one also. Once we add the secondaries to to the replica on the primary, secondaries will sync all the data including security users and all databases automatically. It will sync with the databases and everything. If you see secondary data server and show DBs, you cannot read the databases. You have to run one command slave OK rs.slave OK to read it. You're telling that this is slave, I wanted to read slave OK, then show DBs. All databases it is showing. So SQL DBA lab we created in the primaries, it is replicated to secondary. Everything is replicated. You'll find the data also. Secondary OK. They're changing to secondary OK. Slave OK to secondary OK, that's fine, whatever it is. So now I'm trying to add other node also rs.add. This is all replication. It's so simple anyway, it's not too tough. Linux 03 27017. I'm adding the other node. It is okay means successful. If I go and hit it here, secondary, it is joined. Secondary role it got means it is joined. So rs.conf, this will give you the entire replica members details. So members 1, this is a Linux 01, a priority 1 here you see it, and priority, what is priority, hidden node, and arbiter only. We have a lot of things, slave delay and voting. Do you wanted to make this vote? These are all we discussing there actually in the slides. So this is the Linux 01, Linux 02, Linux 03, 3-member replica right now. Okay, and if you come to this document again to conclude this. So we added the secondary servers successfully. Connect to secondary server and verify the sync successful. Connect to another secondary server and we use the root user credentials which we created on the primary replica during installation. Once we connected, we can authenticate and verify the databases and data within the collections using the secondary server. See, Anita was able to connect to primary. Now she is able to connect to secondary also. She can. Why? Because everything is transferred. Did I use the Anita user to connect? Not here. It seems I did not. Right. I don't want to type everything again. That is the reason I'm just using it. So you can talk. rs dot secondary OK. Slave OK instead of that, secondary OK is a good, that is suggesting. If it is 3.6, slave OK only is option. Secondary OK, we don't have it. It is 4.0, that is why it is saying the new command. Good enough. So show DBs now. which is a Linux 03, see, and use a lab database, there should be one collection, I feel. I entered intentionally, right? db.test find. See? So let's go to here also. Secondary, show DBs, use lab, show collections, db.test find. Data is here. I'll insert some data and show you. Use lab, show collections, db.test find. We have only one record right now, right? I'm going to insert one more record intentionally to just show that how quickly it will replicate the data. Why? Because it's in the same machine. It won't take too long. Okay. S number 2, S name. I'll keep it as Tilak, and S number, S address. You see, I'm inserting one record. Did and db.test.find. You will find 2 records, and it is reflected by now here. So 2 records. 2 records. See, it got reflected. I'll create a new database quickly. Let's do that. Show DBs. Let's clear the CLS. Show DBs. Use what database? Anything? Cloud Lab SQL DB. Use.
Can you create databases on secondary?
No. Second is read only. You cannot do anything here. Absolutely read only. These are all. If you use MongoDB, one something. Okay. If I'm trying to create, it will throw the error when you're trying to create. Test. Insert. Secondaries are absolutely read only. So error. Why it is errored out? Test is not a. Just what. It should throw something different error. Insert. So what it is saying is not a master to insert. You don't do it. You cannot do it. Only primary is the one where you can write everything and modify. No secondary. Use Mongo database name. It is not there Mongo right now. Show DBs. Come on. CLS. Show DBs. We don't have Mongo here also. CLS. Show DBs. Here also we don't have. I'm creating a new database altogether. Mongo. DB dot again class something else. Some boring, but still just we are seeing how it is going to work. Right? S number 1. So address, right? Show DBs. You will see this database. Which one? Mongo. You see the database also on the secondaries. That's what it is. Mongo. See, Mongo. Before it was not there. Now it is there. Everything. If you delete also. I'll delete also. I'll show it. So use Mongo. Show collections. Only one collection. db.class.find. See, one record. The same thing here also. db.class.find. You have the data. Now I'll drop the database. db dot first use database. Sorry, db dot drop database. Use database and drop database. This is what is going to drop the database. Dropping, dropped. So it is okay means done. Okay, whenever you see okay one means done. Show DBs. Mongo is gone. There is no Mongo. Show DBs. No Mongo. Show DBs. No Mongo. So whatever you do on the primary, it is absolutely byte to byte. It will reflect on the secondaries. users, permission, everything. That is why in the live, when we work, you don't see any issues, because even it is failover, you don't see any issues basically. Now you wanted to change the role manually, you can do this one. This is something tomorrow topic. Anyway, I'm quickly doing step down. I wanted to do the failover. If you do it, it will do the failover. It will become secondary. One of the primary, secondary will become primary. This become the primary now. Show DBs, I can do the write only from here now because role is handed off. If I this shut it off, one of the secondary, this one will become a primary. I can do that. Use admin. So anyway, these are all possible situations and scenarios in the next class. I can quickly show it off. If see, this is secondary, right? This is also a secondary right now. Okay. Now abruptly I'm shutting off this primary. I'm in the admin db dot shutdown server is gone, right? So now come up out of this. One of the thing will become primary. It takes some 10 seconds time to become primary to give the role handoff. So now if you see PSEF grep 10 seconds time, it will take to the one of the election will take time 10 seconds. This is secondary, this should have been primary. See, it is primary. This become the primary. I can do anything here. If this is also down, then this will become secondary automatically because one only is there. There is no voting. It is not receiving enough of voting. So let's do that also. It's a scenario. It is absolutely scenario what I'm doing right now. So this is also lost. This is also losing, and this is a primary right now. Primary also will become secondary because there is no enough of voting to keep that role. Let's do that. Use admin db.shutdown server. Right? You see PSF and EF. Grab Mongo. No Mongo. This is what I was telling every time. See, it become the secondary. Though it was primary, so there is no heartbeat. Host unreachable connection refuse. So it is secondary. So whatever is left as a last node, it is become a second. You can read the data. Absolutely, you can read all the data, but you cannot modify the data. Use lab and db dot show collections. You can do it. All read operations you can do, whichever is left behind. db dot test dot find. You can read it. But one of the server, I'll bring it online. Then it will form the voting. It will take the ownership as a primary. That is how it is. If you understand this, it is so simple. Mongo is very simple, but this is very important technology. Now one replica came into online. Maybe one of the this one is not taking the role. Maybe the new one will take the role. So it is become the primary. See, and this is a secondary. I'll use this. Okay, now second. See, if you wanted to show DBs, it will not show it. You have to run one command. What is that run command? rs dot secondary OK. Then it will read the databases. This way, this is what I was explaining in the yesterday class. Voting is very important to sustain. At least 2 votes should be there. 3 votes more than half. More than half means 2. Right? If it is 1, there is no farming. The voting is not there. Majority is not there. No primary. If you have 5 nodes, how many votes should be online to sustain with the primary? 5 nodes. How many nodes we wanted? We discussed this part.
3.
3, that's correct. More than half of that was a simple statement. I guess Lata made it or someone made it. That is a very easiest statement. If you have it, some nodes, if you wanted to have a primary, more than the off should be available. For 7 nodes, how many nodes should be available to form the primary?
4.
4, that's correct. That's it. You got it. How things are working in terms of failover and all that, right? So this is all about configuration, guys. What we issues I don't want to finish today. There are a lot of things we're going to talk about. Next 1.5 class, only issues almost. So any questions? We are done. I'll share the both of these notepads. It's changing the like this IP and keeping in etc host, you must make the entries in the etc host file and change the host name once it is built, right? You create your own number of machines and change the host name, change the Ethernet IP, and what you have to do, add that machines into the etc host, each machine, and then in the Windows level also go to Notepad and open run as administrator, go to the Windows System 32 drivers etc host file, make the entries of each machine and connect from the mobile extreme and do it. That's it. So go through the video, everything is recorded what I have done, so you get clarified. Any questions? Right.